你好，我是显化妈妈。首先祝福大家新年快乐，在新的一年显化什么都成功，财源四面八方滚滚来，挡都挡不住。提到金钱丰盛，大家有没有发现，身为资深显化导师的内维尔很少在公开的场合或者是演讲当中提到自己究竟显化了多少财富。他教大家如何显化金钱，但他自己到底有没有钱呢？我们知道的是，他从小生长在南美洲的小岛巴贝多，岛上的资源并不多。我们知道他家里兄弟姐妹很多，也知道他的童年青少年时期过得并不富裕。在1933年经济大萧条时期，我们还知道内维尔穷的住在地下室，吃喝得排队领补给，想回巴贝多的家，身上却拿不出任何钱买船票。这些都是我们从演讲跟著作当中得知的状况。那后来呢？后来内维尔了解了显化的厉害之后，经过不断的实验跟确认，他为自己显化了一段美好的婚姻，成为了一个成功的身心灵导师。那他究竟有没有为自己显化财富跟金钱呢？由于内维尔先生为人谦逊低调，他是鲜少在公开场合提到自己的财务状况的。但是我相信以内维尔的显化能力，只要他想要，他肯定可以拥有许多财富啊。于是我爬了许多内维尔先生的原文著作，翻看了许多他在当年的原文演讲。顺带一提最近 AI 技术发展越来越日新月异了，坊间出现了好多以内维尔先生的头像跟声音录制的显化视频音频，但实际上内容根本不是他说过的话，大家一定要小心验证，不要以讹传讹哦。最后我终于从一段很冷门的小演讲节录当中，发现了内维尔先生跟他的家族总共累积了多少财富了。今天就带着大家来研磨一下这段演讲内容，让你自己来判断内维尔先生跟他的家族是不是很会显化财富。先给大家剧透一下，内维尔家族直到现在在巴贝多仍然拥有一个庞大的家族企业，平均年营收约有4亿美元。现在就让我们边聆听边看着显化妈妈呕心沥血的翻译，一起来听内维尔先生这段关于如何从一无所有到富裕生活这段珍贵的音频吧。
Who knows what you're imagining? No one knows. But you can sit down and imagine, and no one can stop you from doing it. But can you give reality to the imagined state? If you do, yes, a bridge of incident will appear in your world. And you'll walk across some series of events leading up to the fulfillment of the imaginal state. But don't give causation to any physical step that you took towards the fulfillment of it. You imagined yourself having a marvelous business. And then comes the day a building is for sale, and you haven't a nickel towards it. And not a total stranger, but a man comes in and asks you quite in a friendly manner, are you going to buy it? And knowing you don't have a penny, you say to him, as you would a friend to a friend, with what? And then he said, well, I have money. It's only in the bank drawing nothing. You say, well, I have no collateral. But he said, I watch you. You're an honest person. Your family, they're honest. I think they are. Would you like me to buy it for you? I'll get my lawyer to bid for it. If they knew that I'm bidding, they know I have money, they'll bid me up. And so I get it at the very lowest price by getting a lawyer who represents more than one client, and they do not know who he represents, and he'll bid for it. Are you willing to take it regardless of the price? And you say yes. I'll take it. But I have no collateral. All I need is your signature, that you will simply pay 6% on whatever the price is, and then reduce that principal over a period of 10 years. Agreed? Yes. But then sign this, and we'll see if we can buy it. That day, you owned the building. And you didn't have one nickel when you owned the building that day. You only had your signature on a piece of paper. At the end of 10 years, you repaid the man his principal. You reduce it every year, paying him 6% on the remaining principal, and reduce the entire thing at the end of 10 years. That man dies 20 years later and leaves you $150,000 in cash, tax-free, and a couple of homes and many personal belongings. In the meanwhile, you continue in that business, and it multiplies and multiplies. And that year was 1922, 1924, 1968. That building, I'm speaking factually, that building in 1960 in that business, and it multiplies and multiplies. And that year was 1922, 1924, 1968. That building, I'm speaking factually. That building in 1968. That building, I'm speaking factually. That building in 1924 is now gone. He paid only $50,000 for it. It was repaid and repaid. A bank 3 years ago bought the property, because the building was rotted, bought the property for $840,000 in cash and no capital gain, from $50,000 to $840,000. In the meanwhile, the business has expanded into all the other islands, so that today you couldn't buy them out for $15 million, all in imagination. And this goes back to the imagination that preceded this man's offer to buy the building. For the young man seeing this building and entertaining a thought that the present owners deceived his father and through deception got him out of a partnership, a junior partnership. And he was moved not to get even, but to prove that he really had something within him and could be a success in spite of their deception. And so every day he would see on that marquee not their name, but his own family's name. And he would see it in his mind's eye, because you could not take their name and transliterate it and make it spell this man's family's name. But he saw it. And in his mind's eye, he saw that name, which, if true, would imply the family owned it. He did it every day, twice a day, for 2 years. And then came this sudden, out of the nowhere. And the whole thing was made possible, and today they're all over the islands. And they have no partners. They've never taken in one partner, never sold one bit of stock outside of a family ownership. All by imagination. Now, I know what I'm talking about because I'm a member of that family. I'm speaking of my own family. This is not hearsay. I know it. My second brother, Victor, was the one in whose imagination this whole thing began to bloom.